can't help but feel fine. Everything is in its place and everything is mine. I can't help but feel good. I can't help but feel fine. Everything is in its place and all of it is mine. Ooh, I can't help but smile. Ooh, I can't help but smile. I'm reinventing myself. I'm me and nobody else. I'm reinventing myself. I'm me and nobody else. Ooh, I can't help but smile.
Ticket to come home when you want to. Cause even when I'm not with you, I'm with you. Sun up, sun down. We don't have to wait for our life to begin. Cause we're already standing out on the runway. Open up your heart and let it catch the wind. Just reach out and take my hand. Nothing in our way. They keep saying time flies.
I got this.
I guess I better start now. Anyways, thanks for joining this live stream. This is live. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the music that I had rolling before, just trying to set the mood for this live stream together. When you enter any kind of comment, I can display these on the screen. So here's the actual first comment right here. Yes, you were the very, very first. And I love seeing these comments come in. And I encourage you guys to comment, to answer each other's questions as well. So what I want to do in this live stream, and this is a live stream, it's not pre-recorded. A couple things to apologize for in advance. My camera settings are all kind of wacky. I shouldn't have been messing with them. I've been messing around with them too much. And so they are what they are. And we'll just have to roll with the camera settings the way that they are. I'm just trying to tweak the color a little bit. I don't like how it is, but I'm working on it. The other thing is this is live and I have a dog, and sometimes people knock on the door and that causes my dog to just bark like crazy. And so there is potential for there to be some dog barking in this live stream. And there's also potential to have some other distractions because I have my son at home and of course my wife's at home. I like to let them know in advance that I'll be live streaming, and if they pop in the door, they're going to end up on the live stream. So they know that going into it, but sometimes it's easy to forget. So those are the only ground rules. Now, for those of you that might be watching this not live, I will, after the live stream, I'll try to go back and put some timestamps in the video description so you can easily jump around and be able to get through everything that we end up covering in this live stream. So I'll try to do that as well. And so kind of the format I want to do is there's a couple things I want to talk about. And what I'd like to do is, as I'm talking about those particular things, if you have questions about those particular things, ask them and I'll answer them in those sort of little segments. And then at the end of the live stream, any just overarching questions that you might have about just about anything, you can ask. And I can't get to every question because these things tend to get very long, these live streams. And I'd like to cap this at maybe 75 minutes. So I won't be able to answer every question. However, if you ask a question and I'm not able to answer it, it's nothing personal, number one. And number two, if you wouldn't mind copying your question and asking over in the WP Crafter Facebook group. If you look inside the video description box, there is a link to the WP Crafter Facebook group. And it's simple. It's just facebook.com/groups/WP Crafter. You can ask your question in there. Join the group, ask your question in there, and I'll do my best to answer the question. But there's also nearly 27,000 people in that group. So if I can't get to your question, someone certainly will. So let's just take a quick look at some of these comments that are rolling in, and then we'll get started. Let's see this. I'm loving the use of Glorify. I think the asset's in your thumbnail. Yes, Glorify is a graphics creation tool. I made a video about it last November and I bought it. I love it. This thing just keeps getting better and better. And I'm actually, maybe it's getting better, but maybe I'm just getting better using it. So I'm trying to get better at making some of my own graphics quickly. I don't make all my graphics, but some of them, it's helpful if you can make some of your own stuff fast. Because sometimes when you want to get a graphic designer in, it takes a little bit of time. Okay, everybody, hello from Spokane, Washington. My father used to live up there near Wenatchee, and so we'd go up there and enjoy the winters, the snow, and some of the outdoor activities in Wenatchee. So here's a question we can answer later if we remember to scroll back and get to it, about how to get clients. Let's see. Yes, this is such a global audience. I'm in Southern California, USA. We're still going through this pandemic thing over here, but The natives are restless. They want to get out and have life get back to normal. I think there's actually some weird protests going on in the United States today regarding people just wanting to be able to go out again. But we have to wear our masks when we go out. That was freaky the first time I had to wear the mask. Something I wasn't used to. All right, let's see what else we got, and we will just get in. Hey, Greg, so you're in Pottsville, Arkansas. Got it. I didn't know that. It's great to have you. Great to have you. Let's see, we got people from all over. This is awesome. I plan on showing you some really interesting stuff here, and some things I've been really thinking about regarding how we build websites today and some of the challenges that we have and that we face with it, and maybe some other options we might not have considered to make it more simple. All right, so I'm scrolling through here. Let's just go ahead and get started. And I love seeing all these comments here. It's great. This is awesome because we're going to talk about this a little bit in this video. What to expect in the Cadence Pro. Well, I'm not going to talk about that because I have no idea. But there's some really interesting features that have come to this theme that I'm going to show you. And if anyone has an online e-commerce shop, and separately, if someone maybe uses LifterLMS, there's some really neat things in there for both of those people. Some really neat things. Yep, for dog barking. He was actually just barking a little while ago. We have a little dog. He's 8 pounds or 9 pounds, and the little ones tend to bark more. And so he's quite the barker for sure. He is quite the barker for sure. Got Denmark here. That's awesome. I should bring my dog in sometime. I had him in a video when he was just a little tiny pup, but he's awesome. Love having him. Oh goodness, this is going to get me in trouble. Do you still have the shotgun? Yes, I do have the shotgun. I've never fired the shotgun. There was a video I made where I used the shotgun as a prop, and I thought it was perfectly well suited. Some people didn't like me showing a shotgun in a video, but it was just a prop, Matt is asking, is there anything I can tease about Elementor 3? Unfortunately not. I did go to Elementor headquarters last January for a few days, and I did get to see some of the things that they're working on and they have coming up. However, I can't break any trust with them for them entrusting that information, advanced information to me. I can't break it. I wouldn't break that trust. But I could say I left the meetings there and I did see Elementor version 3, and yeah, I was quite excited. I was quite excited about it, and I think it's going to make a lot of things easier for people, and that's probably all that I can say. If I can even say that, so hopefully I don't get into trouble for even saying that. The benefits of working from home. Yes, I'm loving working from home. That is so sure. Okay, we got some self-promotion going on in there. I guess you can't control it. Can't control it. All right, so let me just take a quick sip of water and we'll get right on into it. Thanks for joining today. I know there's a lot of things you could do on your Friday/Saturday morning. So for me, it's Friday and it's 2:10 p.m. So I couldn't think of anything better to do than to spend this time with you. Okay, I'll have to do that many times throughout this. All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about and the first thing I wanted to cover, let me go over here. I got this weird setup going on. I'll have to show you guys maybe at the end, where I have my normal computers right here. So when I make my videos, I'm right here. But then I set an iPad up right here, and I have this feature called Sidecar, where I can show the comments right here. So it looks like I'm looking at you when I'm looking at the comments, which is my preference. But then my computer is actually over here, and then I control everything with this device over here. I'll have to show you guys someday. Actually, I could show you today. So anyways, let's get into it. So obviously everybody knows what's going on around the world. Events are being shut down. Heck, most businesses are shut down, but hopefully they're going to be opening soon. But on the event front, every November, or what was actually scheduled, I think it was scheduled for November or October this year, was going to be WordCamp US. And the final word is on WordCamp US is that it's not canceled. However, it's going virtual. So let's take a look over here. This is where they made the announcement. I thought it was quite clever play on words right here where it says WordCamp will be virtually awesome. And so I should have put a link to this in the video description. I will, if you want to go here and register for this. Now, if you haven't been to a WordCamp before, these are events that happen all around the world in various cities, but then the larger regions around the world, they will have a regional one, and those are usually really big. So there's WordCamp US, there's WordCamp EU, and earlier this year was going to be WordCamp Asia, which ended up getting canceled. But these events are great opportunities for people that not really want to make a name for themselves, but establish themselves a little bit more and submit a speaking application. So what that means is when these events are happening locally or regionally, they have a call for speakers. And that means you could prepare a presentation, a topic, submit it for review to be considered to be asked to be a speaker, and then you can be a speaker at that event. It's certainly a good opportunity for you to give back, or for you to establish yourself or get some brand awareness. It's a great opportunity for all of those things. And with this virtual event, I'm glad they didn't cancel WordCamp, because it's gonna be giving people an opportunity to participate and give these different WordCamp talks. I should submit an app for this. So let's take a look at the deadlines for that. So it's going to be held on October 27th through 29th. And it was going to be in St. Louis. Last year was in St. Louis. But this year it's going to be virtual, which should be good. They should probably have all the kinks worked out on holding one of these virtually. So there's sponsorship opportunities, but here is the speaking opportunities. So you essentially need to come to this page and then click on this link that says speaker application site. And you have to submit your speaker application by May 31st. I think I might do that this year. It might be a good opportunity for me to do that as well. I've been meaning to do that. So that is WordCamp US. I'm going to scroll through here and see if there's any questions anyone had about that. I did go to WordCamp US last year. I ended up getting really sick after that in all November last year. I swear I must have had that coronavirus. I was so sick. It was horrible. Anyways, so let's see. Any questions about that? I'm scrolling through here. And I don't think we have any questions about that. Everybody's checking in, which is awesome. Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, then let's move forward. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is, let me get a just quick brief a sip of water, and then we'll move forward. This is the exciting part of everything we're going to talk about. So, I mentioned this once before in a prior video that my father-in-law is building a website for my mother-in-law, and she is a very knowledgeable person about finance and financial stuff, and so she wanted to have a website for herself. And he was watching some of my videos, and one Wednesday night, I invited both of them over. We get together pretty much every Wednesday, and he came over and he brought his laptop, and we opened up the laptop and we're sitting there, and I got to see him in front of me trying to build a website, and I got to see all of the pain points and the roadblocks and the barriers when you're first creating a website. And I thought more about this. I think part of the problem was, well, he was using the Astra theme. That wasn't a problem. He was using Elementor. That's part of the problem. And he was using a template, which I think was a huge part of the problem. You mix these three things together and you could have a very challenging situation. And it just got me kind of evaluating why we choose to use the tools that we use to build our websites, and are they making things more complicated, or are they making things more simple and simplified? And I gotta say that pushed me to evaluate the default and native block builder that's built into WordPress, and better known as Gutenberg. I don't know how long, I think that name's gonna stick. It's been around for so long. So I'm sitting there, I'm using Gutenberg, and there was a new update to Gutenberg just a few days ago, and I don't recommend, it's a little buggy, I don't recommend people use it, but the thing is it was so much easier and so much less pain and so much less friction building a page using Gutenberg. And this is something that wasn't the case a year ago, and certainly wasn't the case when it was released a year and a half ago. And so it got me thinking, when should you build a website using a page builder? And when does, or what types of websites does using a page builder, that page builder kind of gets in the way, slows down the process, overcomplicates the process, and then it's just amplified when you're a beginner and now you have to learn WordPress, you have to learn how to get your website set up, then you have to learn a page builder. There's all these things you have to learn. When is it just overkill? And so it got me thinking that, and I'm going to show you some things with Gutenberg right now, that maybe an e-commerce site, you don't need a page builder for that. It overcomplicates it. Maybe an affiliate marketing site or a blog, which essentially both end up being the same thing, maybe it's overkill. Now, there's times where you need a designed website where it looks really designed. You need things like absolute positioning and motion animations and all these kinds of things where you do need a page building tool for that. And there's no getting around that. You're not going to get that out of Gutenberg. But it got me thinking that out of 100% of the websites that you might need to create, I'm wondering if you only really should be using a page builder on 20% or 25% of them, and Gutenberg's going to be a better choice. Let me show you some of the things that are going on right now with Gutenberg. So here is a latest update to Gutenberg. This is version 8, which was just released. Let me clarify that a little bit. Everyone that is using a current version of WordPress has this block builder, and there's a different version number of that block builder built into it. But there's advanced features that get added to the block builder that everybody that has WordPress doesn't get to see, doesn't get to experience. But these enhancements are added to the Gutenberg plugin, and you add that by going to Plugins, Add New, doing a search for Gutenberg, and that's where these somewhat experimental features in their early phases end up. Now, after they're in there and they're fleshed out for a little bit, those get refined, those get moved into the core of WordPress, and then a WordPress update goes out. If you saw a video I put up not that long ago about the last WordPress update, which was version 5.4, I was revealing some of these things that we will be seeing in the future. So there's some really interesting things that were just released in this. And the only reason I went through all of this explaining that is if you go to create a new page, you're not going to experience what I'm going to show you. You have to add the Gutenberg plugin. And with that, it might not be a good idea to do that on a live website. It has a potential of causing a problem. But this is just to show you what is coming, what is around the corner, and anyone has the opportunity to test this now. So this new update came out, and literally it was just on the 29th of April, so it wasn't that long ago. So now what it's going to do is give you more of a page builder-like experience, and you see this being demonstrated here. Before, when you wanted to add what's called a block to your page, you would click on the plus and you get this floating thing that kind of blocks the page. And now what happens is it's more like a experience you get out of Elementor. In Elementor, what happens? You have this fixed panel on the left that has the settings for various things. It has a list of the blocks or the modules, and it has the individual settings for those different modules. Well, with this latest update of Gutenberg, you're going to have that fixed panel there that appears when you want to use one of these modules. If you noticed, in WordPress 5.4, they made it so by default, when you go to create a new page or a new post, you're in this full screen view. Well, this is kind of the next genesis of that. And they also integrated this concept called patterns. And I'm going to show that to you in a moment as well. I made a video on this and how easy it is for anyone to make a pattern. And what a pattern is essentially a saved section, or what we know is a saved section. So if you want a section with testimonials or a contact section, they call them patterns inside of WordPress, and anyone can make these and reuse them over and over and over again. So we got this, and I'm going to show you in a moment. We have more inline formatting options. This is okay, but I do think this takes it another step forward in being able to have that what you see is what you get experience just using Gutenberg. And then there's some enhancements on the code editor. That's not that big of a deal. All right, so here I am on a website that has this experimental Gutenberg builder in it. So let me click on Edit Page. This is a home page I built, and I'll actually show you how to build this home page in just a few minutes. It's just so easy. So you might be used to this. Actually, it might be better if I leave the screen. You might be used to this by now, where you're in this full screen editing experience. So now if I want to, say, add something under here, so this is the last block that I have, and I want to add something here, you can click on the plus right here and see what happens. It revealed a fixed panel on the left, and I gotta say, it reminds me of modern page building tools. Divi doesn't do this, but you can actually optionally set Divi to do this. You get this in Elementor, you get this in Thrive Architecture, you get this in Breezy, you get these in all these page building tools. And so we already had this where you would hover over it and you get an example of what it would look like on your page. And here's the other thing that was added, the option right here for patterns. And you go here, and these are pre-designed sections, and anyone's able to create these themselves. You don't need a coding degree in order to make these. In fact, I've already released a video on how to make these. And these are exactly what it looks like. So I can just click on one of these and it's easily added right there. And so this got me thinking, we are really close to the simplicity of building out entire pages using this builder. So for example, I also have a plugin that's helping me along a little bit. It's called Cadence Blocks. It's free. You can go to plugins, add new, and do a search for Cadence Blocks. And what's nice about this is it has a really nice row element. So I can click right here and look at this. I'm adding a new row and I get my format layout options right here. Or I can choose from their pre-built library. I can click here and then I can choose any of these options right here. So it's getting very easy to create entire web pages just using the block builder. And there's advantages to doing that. You might be thinking right now, why would I want to do that? I already have these other tools. I like using these other tools. I'm not saying stop using what you're using, stop your workflow. I'm just saying that this is where we're headed, where you most likely for most websites don't need to use a page builder, because a page builder, love it or not, like it or not, it's going to enable you to build the site that you want, but it comes at a cost. And I'm not talking about a monetary cost. I'm talking about a cost on the weight of your web pages, meaning your web page load time. It does load a little slower. There is a bit more that needs to be downloaded, and also the speed at which you can create a website, because you also have a learning curve that you have to go through. What I've noticed is these page building tools, they're becoming like Adobe Photoshop. Now, I don't use Adobe Photoshop. I have it. I don't use it. I have to sometimes make little edits when someone gives me something, and that's the only reason I have it. It's too dang complicated for me. I have zero patience and interest in learning how to use an advanced tool like Adobe Photoshop. It's great that there's advanced tools out there like that, but it's not the ideal tool for everyone. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make, is that I'm starting to see that as page builders become more and more complex and they're adding more and more features and options, I'm using less and less of those features. I'm using less and less of those options because the tool's just becoming so complicated. There's so many things. I would guess that I use maybe 10 or 15% of the power of the page building tool that I use. And I use Elementor, but I'm sure if I was using Divi or a different one, it would be the same thing. I'm using such a small percentage of the power of it. It's because it's just a big, complicated and complex tool. And that's where things are going towards complexity, where we have this option here where we're going towards the direction of simplicity. So here, when I added, say, this hero image right here, I can click right here and I can have what you see is what you get, and I can edit this just very simply and easily. I can easily change the background if I want. Gutenberg recently added this feature called breadcrumbs. It's here on the bottom left. It might be hard to see. I can click on row layout. And then right here, it says background settings, and I can change the image right here to a different background image. And I can even do an overlay if I wanted an overlay color right here. It's very easy to do this stuff. For buttons, I can click on it and I can put my link in. Oops, it just opened in a new tab. That's not what I wanted. But if I want to change the text of the button, I can just double click and start typing something different, like learn more. So what I'm realizing is it might be easier for people to build a website using a tool that is going towards simplicity versus complexity. And that's what I'm seeing here inside of this, what comes for free and is already built in and integrated into WordPress. Simplicity. Ooh, I still have that spelt wrong. There we go. Amazing. Okay, there we go. Amazing. That looks better. It's very easy to do this. Another example of this is what you see right here. This is WooCommerce products, and it's a product grid being pulled in. Well, have you ever tried to create a page using a page builder and getting a WooCommerce grid of products in there? You have to use a short code. And so this makes things very complicated because now we're talking short codes and that adds complication. Now you're in Elementor, but you can't edit this piece because you can't natively get it in there. You have to do it with the short code, where here, it's simple. This is just visual. All this was, I'll show you how easy it is. I can go here and I can type Woo, just like that. I have all my WooCommerce stuff right here. And so if I wanted to show a grid of products, I think I just chose this one right here, best selling products. So I can click on that and then there it is. And I have options over here on the right. I can filter these out. I can choose to have 4 columns just by going like that. Now I have 4 products. I can have additional rows. This is visual and easy, and it's all natively included. And what I create using this will be faster than using a page builder, and I don't have to learn something new. So I just wanted to open up this thought process of maybe we're using a page builder when we don't need to. We don't need to. And as these features that I just showed you get more and more mature and further along, at what point does using a page builder just make things way more complicated than it needs to be? And that brings me back to that story when I was sitting there with my father-in-law. And it was frustrating. He had to learn all these things, and where do you change the font? You know, there's like 5 different places to change the font. But if it's natively here, you can just go into the theme customizer settings, and that's what it's used everywhere. There's just less complexity, less of a learning curve, and it's going to enable people to get where they want to go faster. So, I think we are entering the time right now where if you're a website designer or if you just create websites for yourself, it's time to really start looking at Gutenberg and considering and learning it and getting comfortable using it and considering, I could maybe make websites faster using this, certain websites faster, and I might not need to use that powerful page builder for every type of site that I am going to end up making. And I think the gap, the WordPress is bridging that gap between using the block builder and its functions and getting it to where a page builder is. And this is something I wouldn't have said 12 months ago, but today I'm actually surprised. I built that entire page in just a few minutes using Gutenberg, and I actually enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it. Now, there's one thing I don't like. I actually reached out to this theme developer for the theme I'm using, and I said, you know what I don't like is it says the title here, and I'm not showing the title on the front end of the website, but it shows the page title when you're in here. And he told me, which is good, he's involved in this Gutenberg development. He told me that there's a lot of discussions on what to do with this right now. And in his theme, he's going to enhance it so this is kind of faded out. So there's a visual indication that the title right here is not going to be shown on the front end. That's the one thing that kind of throws me off. I just wish it would, like, I can have a setting and just this is how it would be, so it'd be more true to life. Anyways, I wanted to talk through this. So let's go ahead and see if there's any comments that you guys have about this, and then we can move on to some of the more exciting stuff. But this is actually exciting. I'm pretty excited about this possibility here. Let's see. This is funny. The father-in-law had better get that right then, or there could be trouble. Yeah, well, I realized, it might be complicated having to learn a theme, a page builder, at WordPress. There's like 5 things you have to learn versus just one. So, Chris is saying that's incredible. I hope that is in regards to what I was showing. This doesn't give me an indication of when these comments were put in, but I think it is. Enough for me to try this and just think, wow, this is some great stuff. All right, I think I'm having a little technical difficulty here with my mouse. Sorry about that. I think my mouse is freaking out. Come on, mouse, come back to life. There we go. My mouse came back to life. All right. And so Greg is saying, I'm stoked and ready to begin. Yes, I think on my channel, I'm going to start focusing more on what you can do with Gutenberg to have a faster site that's easier to build, easier to use. It's just going to end up being faster. And you don't have to pay anything. Well, obviously I don't charge for anything that I do, but Gutenberg is there, it's free. And in here I use cadence blocks, that's free too. So I am looking forward to that. Let's see. Yes, Cadence is the best theme. I'm going to show you some things in it in a moment that might make your head spin for sure. Interesting. Chris is saying that he feels like Breezy is a more user-friendly page builder, but it doesn't have third-party support and integrations. I actually, I think with anything, I think with anything, the more you spend using it and trying to build things with it, probably the more acclimated you get to it. I find Breezy more complicated, and it's because it's kind of icon driven. And so unless you use it enough to understand what the icons do, you have to move your mouse and hover over it for a tooltip to show up so that you can know what that control does. I've actually already expressed that to them. Okay, so let's see here. Awesome topic. Yes, thanks. It might be a little controversial, kind of a divergence from some of the content that I've put out for sure. Let's see. All right. So now I think I'm going to move forward. I'm scrolling just a little bit more here. Actually, here's a great comment from Chris. Let's take a look at it. Chris is asking, what should third-party page builders do in order to stay competitive with Gutenberg? And are there any page builders implementing these competitive edge behaviors? Well, I think it's actually kind of the opposite. I think the page builders are more competitive than Gutenberg, and Gutenberg's trying to compete with them by adding the feel that you get from a page builder, but trying to kind of make it simpler for everybody else. So the page builders are actually more competitive, but I think that's because they're advancing to become advanced design tools, much like Photoshop. So they're just going to be going in the direction of becoming more and more complicated. That's kind of what I see happening and what I feel in my gut. These tools are becoming so complicated to use. But I still think they're easy to use, but you got to put more effort into learning them. Let's see here. This is an interesting comment. Why spend time with Gutenberg when it's not creating responsive stuff yet? It absolutely is. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the screen really quick. Maybe you didn't spot this, but here, let me get out of the screen so it's easier to see. Okay, so there's this preview option right here. Let me move the mouse so it's easy to see. It's to the left of the update button, and there's a drop-down arrow, and I can go here and I can see this page in tablet view. I can see this in mobile view, and I can also preview it in a new tab, and I can make adjustments to it that would be specific for that view. So this is something that is there, and I could only imagine is going to get easier and easier to use. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Elementor is too slow. Well, so you have the added complexities, right? When you go get into the Elementor editor, you're waiting for that. And it does produce stuff that takes more work for a web browser to download and interact with. So I'm not saying those are challenges that you can't overcome, but those challenges do exist as well. All right. Okay, guys. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next thing that I wanted to show you. So let me go here and get it queued up. All right. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to leave. And I go here. So let me take a sip of water real quick, and then we'll get started. This is going to be some really cool stuff right here. About 3 weeks ago, I declared what I think is the best free WordPress theme. And at the time, it was just offering some amazing features that you didn't see in other tools that were even other paid tools, yet this was all coming in a free theme. The name of the theme is the Cadence theme, and I want to show you some new features that they just added, and now I think I could say that very confidently and easily that it just might be the best theme for WooCommerce, the best theme to create an online e-commerce web store. In fact, when I did the update and I saw the different things that were added, and then I went to test it, my mind was spinning that this was all available coming from a theme, and a free theme at that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these features. Now, for a theme to be good for e-commerce or WooCommerce, or to be declared the best theme for WooCommerce, that theme would have to do something special with the pages that you create in WooCommerce. And what do you create? You create a shop page, you create a product page, and we're going to focus on some of the amazing features that are now available for a product page. So the product page the My Account page, and of course the cart and the checkout page. So these new features are going to be seen in the shop page as well as the product page, but the product page stuff is so cool. So here I am, and this is the Kadence theme. I'll have a link in the video description. Anyone can download this for free by going to WPCrafter.com/Kadence, KADENCE. And yes, I did have to go look at the logo to make sure I was spelling it correctly. All right, so I'm gonna go in on this site right here. I'll click on shop. So we have the shop here, and just out of the box, the shop looks great, and there's a ton of customizations. But I'm a bald guy, and when it's cold outside, I need to wear a beanie or my head gets really, really cold. It's the only disadvantage to being bald. Right now, the advantage is you don't need haircuts and you can't get a haircut anywhere. So here are some beanies. It's a beanie hat collection, and this is what the product page looks like out of the box. We're gonna make this look amazing right now together, but most themes, this is how it looks out of the box. There's nothing really special or unique to it, but we have some new goodies. So I'm gonna go here, and I have the theme installed, obviously. I'm gonna click on Customize. And this will take us into the Kadence theme customizer. And right here is the WooCommerce options. So I'm gonna click on that. And you have the options for the single product layout, and that's what we're gonna look at right now. Okay, so let's totally change the look and feel of this, and I'll highlight some of the really unique features along the way. So the first thing I want to do is I want to have that narrow layout, and so where it says product layout, I'm going to choose narrow. I kind of like that for blog content, and I'm really starting to like that for products. And I want to change kind of what it looks like up here, under the header area. So it says above content layout. I'm going to choose extra title area like that. And now I actually have the title area here that I can start putting content in. So I've just enabled that. Of course, I can choose an alignment if I want things on the left or the right. I prefer it here in the middle, and I can change the height. If I wanted to change any of the design elements, I can click on this design tab, and we'll do that later. Right now, I'm just going to lay it out, and then we'll take a look at what we can do with the design. So the first thing is the elements that are going to be in here. And right now you can see there's three options: breadcrumbs, category, or the title. And there's a little eyedropper there, or a visibility tool. So I can toggle whether I want this element to show there or not. So if I wanted the breadcrumbs, I can click here, and you see now I have the breadcrumbs up here. I don't want that. And as a matter of fact, I don't want the category there either. I want the title of the product. So I'm going to click on above title for the product title, and I'm going to hide the category. And if you didn't notice, you can also rearrange these. So if you're going to have more than one item, so if I did want the breadcrumb, I could click there. But if I wanted the breadcrumb underneath the title, I can just drag and drop the title to the top. And actually, you can have it looking that way. I don't prefer that. And under the design settings, I could have added a little bit of spacing there. I just want the product. But you know, I've got the product here. I'm probably going to want to hide that, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. So I can do a sidebar layout. I personally don't want a sidebar layout, but I want to put it in a boxed layout. I like the boxed look right there. It's just simple. I like the container of it, and that's an option that I have right there. Okay, so let me go to the top. So now this is where, if you didn't like already what you see, this right here is where your mind can start spinning. So all of these elements here are rearrangeable, hideable, and they all have some new customizations. So right now I'm hiding the category. I don't want to show the category. I don't want to show the title either, because I have the title up here now. So I'm going to click on title, and I've hid the title there because I don't see a reason to show that. So I've got rating, I've got price, and actually right here I can actually hold on for a second. I'm actually going to take this video and chop it up a little bit, maybe make it a video. So right here I have the price, and you can see some of these options here have a down arrow off to the right. So for the price, I can click this icon, and here's some additional options related to this part of the page. And it says show shipping statement. So I can toggle this on, and now I can show the price and have a little statement off to the right. For example, free shipping, or something that you think might add more detail or information to someone that's on this page. So I actually like that. And free shipping, or with free shipping, or with free shipping. How about that? With free shipping. Let's see. My keyboard is freaking out now. Let's see. There we go. Now it's working. There we go. 18 with free shipping. There we go. That's cool. So let me hide those options. So this is the excerpt. I can choose to show that or not. I do want to show that. Then we have some add to cart options right here. I can change the size of the button. If I want it to be large, I can do that. And the add to cart button changes size. I'm going to leave that on normal, just like that. Now here's where it gets interesting, and this is where you don't have these features even in most paid themes, yet we're getting it for free. The first one is extras. So let me click on the eye and you can see what the extras are. Check this out. This is extras. It adds the ability to add this extra information, and these are usually triggers to increase the conversion and to make the potential buyer feel more comfortable purchasing this product from you. So you can see right here we have this kind of like a title, and then we have these 3 bullet points right here with this nice icon. Now keep in mind, you can rearrange all these elements. Remember, just like I showed you a moment ago where we dragged and dropped and all that, you're going to be able to do that here as well. But let's go ahead and expand the element options. All of these are changeable and user selectable. So where it says free shipping on orders over 50, well, I can change it right here. Where it says satisfaction guaranteed, I can change that right here as well. And I can even change the icon. If I don't like this kind of, I actually really like this icon that's here, where it's kind of like a shield with a check mark. I like the strength of that. But if I don't like that, I can click right here, and you can see for that item right there, it's a different icon. So I like the one that it is there. But you can control these 3 bullet points right there. And actually, you can have 2 additional bullet points if you wanted, and they're just left here blank. So that's an option for you. I wouldn't go too haywire or crazy on that though. So we have extras, and I love that. Next is right here where it says payment. So it's hidden. So I'm going to click on the eyedropper, and now it's going to reveal a very stylish box. And this is beautiful, in my opinion, and hopefully you will agree. So it says guaranteed safe checkout, and then it shows people the checkout methods. And this is just kind of standard stuff you'd expect to see in an e-commerce store, but you don't get this stuff in most free. I haven't seen any free theme that has this, and most paid themes don't have either of these 2 things that I just showed you. They don't have this flexibility that I just showed you. So you also have some additional options here. I can do the drop down, and right here where it says guaranteed safe checkout, well, you can control what the text says right there, right here. And you can, maybe you don't like the colorfulness of these icons. Well, you can go to a grayscale option right there, and you can see they're just kind of grayed out. I actually really like the look of that. And you can toggle which of these icons show right here. So we have these ones toggled. If I wanted to say add an Apple Pay and hide the Discover, I can do that. And there's the Apple Pay now, and it's all right there. So you have this additional control right there. I love these features. I mean, I love these features, and I don't know why it's not just a default with every theme out there. And then we have a couple other options here to show the product information and some sharing links underneath. But what a difference that I've already done in just a few minutes, and I could have done it faster if I wasn't explaining and narrating. I was able to totally transform the look and feel and add these conversion enhancing elements. And this is all coming from a theme that is completely free to use today. Well, sorry, let me erase the blackboard on saying today. This is the free version of Cadence WP, and it will always be free. I'm sure they'll have a pro version out at some point in the future that will take everything you see a bit further. All right, and then we have a couple toggles here, which is show weight and dimensions and show related products. If I scroll down, we have related products right here. And so if I want that there, I can leave it, or I can toggle this off, and I can choose how many related products to show, or not how many to show, the column structure. So it's set to 4. That's why these are small, but because there's only 2 related products. But if I change this to 2, those would appear larger. I actually don't like the larger layout because it takes up too much attention. I would leave that on 4, even if I only had 2 related products. So that right there is just some of the layout elements that you can manipulate and add very easily. And then we also have design options here. So we can change the colors, the fonts of everything that you see with all of these options that are right here. So if I wanted to change this font, I can go right here and I can click right here and choose a different font. I want to leave my font though. Let me go ahead and collapse that. We have styling options as well, the background. So if I wanted to change the background color and maybe do something a little darker like that, of course I'm going to have to change the font color and make that light like that. But there you have it. It was just so easy to do that. And if the product had a featured image, you could just display a featured image in the background here. And of course, if you wanted it to have a transparent header, you could do that as well. So it's just feature after feature after feature. And then there's also options right here to control to change the layout of the My Account page. I don't have the My Account page pulled up here to show you. Let's see if this will take me over to it. Take me over to it, please. It's not taking me over to it. That's all right. So essentially, let's just do that. So let me go ahead and save this. Let me go, just look at that. I mean, that just looks way better, right? So it just looks fantastic. It just looks fantastic. Anyways, so let me go back here and show you the My Account page and then the options we have there. I'm going to go to Pages and I'm going to go to My Account. Let's view this. And there we have it. So you can kind of see it right now. It's pulling in the the avatar image right here, and it's changed the layout to this. Looks really nice if you ask me. So let's go to those options. So I'm going right here. It was under WooCommerce, and it was the My Account layout. And so here we have it. Show the username and avatar right there. I like that. I think it's a very nice touch. And the navigation is set to show on the right, but if you want it to be on the left, we have this option right here. So it's going to take it and move it on the left. I think I prefer left. Let's see what the above looks like with that avatar. That's kind of your default WooCommerce. I like the left the best. I think I prefer that. There you have it. Another enhancement to using WooCommerce with this theme. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And if you didn't know, you can also add a shop icon in the header. This is one of the power features of this theme is the header and footer builder. And you can see right here, I have added the cart icon, and you can see it there in the top right area. So if I wanted to just change the layout, now I have it all the way off to the right. You can even have a mobile menu where you add the shop icon. So if I went right here into tablet and mobile, these are some settings that I was playing around with earlier. Let me get rid of both. You can see that I have the cart icon right here, and you can see it right there. All right, let's get out of there. And it's very easy to control this. And there's additional cart options. So if you didn't like that icon, I like that better than the cart. But if you prefer the cart, you can go with this if you want. And then, actually, I can't believe I didn't show my favorite feature of this theme as it comes to WooCommerce, and that is the pop-out cart. Oh my gosh, this is my favorite thing. Let me go ahead and show you that really quick. So I'm going to save this. I'm almost done showing you the WooCommerce features. I'll click on Shop. Let's go ahead and get that hat collection because I need it. I'm going to click Add to Cart. And oops, I need to add a quantity. So let's go. Let's add that to the cart. And then let's go ahead and click on the cart icon. And check that out. Boom. I love that. It's showing me the cart as a slide out. It doesn't take me to some cart page. I mean, I don't want to go to a cart page. It just slides out this cart on the sidebar. And now I can go to a cart page if I want, or I can click this option right here and go to the checkout. And here is the checkout. There are some additional features for the checkout. You can hide some fields if you want, and it doesn't require an additional plugin. If I click on WooCommerce checkout, so I can hide the company name, address line 2 in the phone field right there. And you have some additional options right here, just to kind of like the cherry on top. So you add this all up together, and I think what this is for me is the ideal WooCommerce theme, and it's shocking that it's entirely free. I love these features that I am able to add now to my product page to make the buyer that's on that product page feel more comfortable making their purchase. All right. So what do you guys think about that? You can start using this right now. I think this stuff's pretty darn amazing. So I'm going to scroll down and see what comments you have about this or any kind of questions that you have. Let's see here. I'm scrolling down. Okay, so we got some of the Gutenberg stuff. Let's see. I'm scrolling down. Lots of the Gutenberg stuff I didn't get to show. Sorry about that. I'll have to review a lot of this later. Okay. This is good. I was never able to get the heading line height issue fixed with Cadence, so I ditched. The Cadence theme, there's a Facebook group you can join. I'll have to put a link down below to it. It's called Web Creators by Cadence WP. You can go there and report any issue that you have, and they'll fix it like within 24 to 48 hours. That's how fast they're fixing things and adding things. All right. Let's see here. All right. I'm looking for questions regarding this. And then I'm going to show you some really neat things you can do with this theme if you're a LifterLMS, not LearnDash, and I might screw up and say LearnDash, but a LifterLMS user. Let's see. All right. All right. I'm scrolling down. Okay. All right, this is good. Oh, here's a question. What about variable products? I didn't test variable products, but let me jump over to the screen really quick and see if one of the products I had, this is like major impromptu. Let me see if one of the products I had was a variable product. I don't know if I have a variable. Okay, so here it says select option. So this must be a variable product. And this is all impromptu. I don't mind being put on the spot and showing something I haven't tested. So it's of course inheriting the layout options that I selected a moment ago. And so the variation is color. So I think I'll choose a red color right there. It's showing me the price and I can add it to the cart. So this is one variation. I hope that answered your question. I don't know if the question was more, does this work with variable products, or if you were looking for something specific related to variable products. Okay. Let's see. So variable products has to be there. Absolutely. Variable products is an important aspect to any e-commerce shop. And if you see what I just showed you about this theme, it's kind of reinforcing the thought that what do you need in an e-commerce shop outside of the stuff that WooCommerce generates? And you saw how easy it is to customize that. A homepage, and if you saw the Gutenberg segment, you saw how easy it is to add a product grid, and we're not using a page builder. if you're creating an e-commerce store, do you really need to complicate the website by using a page builder? And you know what? I don't think so. A shop, an e-commerce store, what are you going to have? You're going to have a homepage that's going to be a hero image. It's going to have a list of maybe like 3 boxes that take you to categories of products. It might show a grid of products. It might show some guarantee badges. What else is needed for an e-commerce shop? A contact page, obviously, with a contact form. What do you need that a page builder brings other than the complications that a page builder might bring to an already complicated process of building an e-commerce store? Anyways, let's see. All right. Adam, do you recommend Cadence over Astra Pro or Ocean WP and Shop or Optimizer? So those are some tried and true themes for sure. And I saw some comments prior about the newness of Cadence. It's actually a theme that has been under development for many months, and the version of it for people to start using was put out maybe a month ago. And so for me, and in my testing, Cadence WP is ready for prime time now. Now they're adding more and more features to it. So if you liked what you saw just a moment ago, well, I don't see those features in any of the themes you listed, except Shoptimizer has some of those features. So if you already own Shoptimizer, I would probably use it, and if you're comfortable using it. However, if you're making a web store today and you're deciding which theme you want, I would 1,000% choose Cadence WP over all of the top themes. It's not just what I showed you just now on the product page. That's a big part of it, but the most important part of a website is really that header and having the functionality and the flexibility to do whatever you want with the header. Well, Astra theme gives you 3 header layouts, and none of them really have the flexibility that you might want to make your shop your own. Ocean WP gives you some additional layout options, but you still don't have that complete flexibility of the drag and drop. And neither of those have these product page features that I'm showing you today. So ultimately, if you're comfortable using a particular theme, go ahead and stick with that. But if you're new, you're fresh, and you're wanting to build a site today, or if you have an existing site and you're feeling like it's time to make a switch, then it's a good time to evaluate your options. All right. Okay, let's see. And also, as it relates back to like here, how about the filters in Cadence? And you're referring to the filters on the archive shop page. Let me say this about the theme. It's not just some random guy that decided to come out with a theme. It's a company that has been, and they're based out of, what's it, Minnesota? Yes, it's Minnesota. They've been making WordPress products for many years, and these products are on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of websites. And for example, if you go to plugins, add new, and just type in the word Cadence, you can see their plugins, and they've got many plugins. They've got an Elementor WooCommerce plugin. They've got they probably, in my opinion, the best WooCommerce email customizer. It's completely free. Anyone can go and use it. They are on the forefront of Gutenberg and the block editor. Their block editor add-on, which is free as well, was one of the first, and it's already on, I think, nearly 70,000 or over 70,000 websites right now. And this is without any marketing or any help or anything. It's just grown. So it's not someone that's wet behind the ears and doesn't know what they're doing. So it's kind of like the developer situation where, I mean, you're asking about filters. I don't have the specific answer to that. I would point you to their Facebook group where you can ask. I know they're there, whether or not they're documented right now. But the guy that makes it is kind of like the developer's developer. He's highly active and involved with WordPress and with Gutenberg and with all of this stuff, and he's very known and respected. That's probably why I'm enthusiastic about the theme, is the track record of the person that's making it. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I'm scrolling a little quicker than normal. Thank you for correcting me. Out of Montana. Why did I say Minnesota? It's Montana. It's just because this is live and I'm just popping things out of my mind. So yes, Montana. Sorry, guys. Thanks for correcting me. I appreciate that. You know, it's funny. I always say the wrong thing at times. Oh my gosh. I say the wrong thing accidentally all the time in my videos too, but it's fun. And yes, the Facebook group is a web creator community. Thanks for adding that, Orlando. I really appreciate that. And thanks for clarifying your question regarding filters. I would jump into the web creator community for the theme. I would ask because his name's Ben. Ben has been super aggressive at implementing features. I'm going to show you some features right now that he added for LifterLMS users. And it was just because someone asked, and not only asked, gave the specifics of what features should be there in order to make it the ideal theme for people that use LifterLMS. So that was given to him and he implemented it, and it's pretty awesome. Okay, I see. He has a user form. There's a user form on their website. I think you might be able to ask there, and they also have a contact form. So you're not dependent upon Facebook, and I totally get that. Okay, so now that I showed you that, let me show you the LifterLMS stuff. All right, now. So LifterLMS, some of you guys are familiar. I've made a lot of videos in the past. I'm kind of switched to LearnDash, which is outstanding, but LifterLMS is great too. LifterLMS is a free version, so it's easier for people to get up and get started, so it always is going to have that advantage. So let me show you this right here. Right now, I want to show you some features that a theme recently added for LifterLMS users, and I haven't seen any theme offer this extent of features for LifterLMS users. I mean, a free theme. There is a paid theme that I personally use, and they do a ton of stuff as well. It's called BuddyBoss, but you might not need all the features that BuddyBoss adds, but you still want a LifterLMS-based course website that's going to look good. Now, it's important to note before I show you these that LifterLMS is going to work fine with every theme. The only downfall of LifterLMS is it does not look good out of the box. And I'm trying to say that in a nice way. Everybody uses a different theme, so it might be kind of impossible for them to add a ability for it to look great with every theme. So it'll work with every theme, but it might require work on your part. But what I'm going to show you is a theme that has added special styling just for LifterLMS, and LifterLMS happens to be free, and the good news is this theme also happens to be free. So the name of the theme is Cadence WP, and you can get a copy of this by going to WPCrafter.com/cadence, Kadence. I'll put a link down below to that. Now, at some point in the future, it will be in the WordPress theme directory, and so it'll be easy to add to your website from within your website. But it takes a little while for those to get in there. So let me just show you really quick. This theme is going to enhance the way the course catalog page looks. And I only have one course. You'd probably see this better if I was to have more than this one course added. So it adds some unique styling for here. And when I click on this, this is what the course page that I made it look, but I'm going to show you some of the options that you have here as well. So we have this nice layout where it's taking the feature image and it's putting it there. I have this box layout where I'm showing the course content, but then it's lifted up a little bit over the featured image. These were all settings that I enabled. It adds default styling here, so you have a lot more flexibility on the lesson layout and the module layout that you see right here. Now, when you go into a lesson, you can have specific settings just for LifterLMS lessons, and this is the layout that I chose to go with. I have a sidebar here off to the left where I'm showing a list of the LifterLMS lessons broken down into the various modules, and it looks very nice. Right here off to the right, I have the actual lesson content right here, and as we scroll down, you can navigate to the next or the previous lesson, or of course mark this lesson complete. Now, if I was to change themes and show you what this looks like, you would get the full impact of what a theme that doesn't specifically have styling and options to do something special with LifterLMS will look like. So let's go ahead and back up and take a look at some of the options that we have here on the course index page. So I'm going to go into the theme customizer right here. Now, when you have LifterLMS installed and active on your website, there's going to be a menu option here in the customizer that says LifterLMS. And then here are all the options that have been added to add something special to what you can do out of the box. So I'm on the course layout, and it just so happens to be what's selected right here, and I can choose that right there. So here is the layout. I chose that layout to have the title above the content, but let's click on some of these to see how it changes. So I just toggled the course title layout, and it took that title that was on the top, it pulled up the lesson content, the course content, and it put the title down here. I actually personally like it up there, so that's why I chose to enable this right here. And you can change the colors and the backgrounds and the fonts to further customize this. Let's see what the show course title does. Yeah, that gets rid of it entirely. All right, so there we go. I kind of like that title there, but there is going to be use cases where you might not want to show the title because you're expressing what the course is about through the image that is listed right there. We have our title alignment options. That was more for when the title was down here. We have options here as well for the title elements. I can enable breadcrumbs and drag and drop and change those. We have the content layout. I went for this narrow layout, which I happen to like, but if you don't like the narrow layout, we have other options here. So this is more wide, but it still has that kind of a lifted up effect that I like. But we have additional options here of going full width, showing a sidebar on the left or showing the sidebar on the right. And you can also select what that sidebar area would be. Okay, we have the content style, and so I chose to be boxed, but you might not like that. You might not want it boxed, and so this kind of option takes it out of the box just like that. That's actually pretty cool, kind of how it feathers over the featured image right there. I like that. Okay, so let's go back to here. And optionally, I can choose to show or not show that featured image right there as well. I kind of like it with it. I like it a little more visual like that. And then you saw how we have this featured image behind the course layout and the course layout stuff's lifted up. Well, that was a setting as well. I can just choose right here and it would be above like that. So you have this really nice narrow layout here. I do like this as well. And then this is below, which is going to lift the title above that featured image. Well, we already have the title up there, so it's not going to really have an effect. I prefer this style right here where the featured image is, you get to see more of it and the course contents is kind of lifted above. Then we have syllabus options down here. So you can choose the column layout. I prefer the single column, but if you want to go to a 2-column, you can go like that, and it shows it broken up into these modules, and you can even go for 3 columns. I'm going to go for one like that. And then we also have styles that are available right here. We're looking at the standard style. This is a 2-column of tiles. I personally don't like this. And a 1-column in the center. This is more what LifterLMS looks like out of the box. I prefer this standard look right here where it's stretched out the full width. Now, what's also cool is if I had thumbnails on these lessons, I could toggle this option right here, and it would actually show the thumbnails for the lessons. I personally don't add thumbnails to lessons because it's a little bit more work than I want to do. Now, you also have design options right here where we can change fonts, we can change colors, and all of that throughout this course layout. So also what I wanted to show was the lesson layout options. So I can go right here and go into a lesson. Now I wanted to sort of attempt as much as I could to have sort of a teachable layout where we have navigation on the left and we have the content on the right. So much like I just showed all the various options on the course page, we have a lot of those same options here on the lesson page. And so a lot of this is just going to look familiar. So we have our lesson layout where on the course I went with the narrow look. If I go narrow here, I lose my sidebar and I lose my course navigation, but it looks nice and someone can still navigate ahead or behind in the course. This actually does look nice as well, and this will take them back to the course index page. However, I wanted the navigation on the left, so I was able to click right here and I have the navigation on the left. Now, this is a WordPress widget area sidebar, and you can add whatever you want there, course progress and all of that. I find that a little distracting. I just wanted a list of the lessons that you see here. So we have these options, and you also have design options right here. Okay, and there's also additional features that you get for membership layouts. So you can have memberships with LifterLMS. It's one of the nice features about it because it's all built in. You don't have to purchase anything additional for it. And then we also have the course archive page. That's what I showed in the beginning. I listed it here as the course catalog, and you have a lot of familiar features available right here as well. But you also have this content style. You see it's kind of in a box. I think if I go here, it's not in a box anymore. There we go. But you also get the ability to control the column structure. So I have it set to 3, but obviously I only have 1 course here. And also it's going to update and modernize the look of the dashboard, and you can see the dashboard right here. I like the look of this as well. And let's see what options we have. It's listed here under user dashboard, and you get these options right here for the navigation layout. I prefer a left layout like that. And what ends up happening is LifterLMS is going to show you thumbnails of the courses that you're enrolled in. And so right here, you can show, or you can configure how many columns would be shown there of these courses or memberships that your students are a part of. By default here, it's set to 3, but you can have less or you can have more. Let's go ahead and click on publish. And I've got to say that these are some really awesome features that are coming for free from a free theme, and it's the perfect pair with LifterLMS, which is also free. And I don't like using things just because they're free. Well, sometimes I do, don't get me wrong, but free opens up the possibilities for the entire world. So regardless of what someone's economic situation is, the country that you're in, your currency, or what you have as an individual. It really goes to democratizing the internet, right? And that's the mission of WordPress. That's the mission of LifterLMS. And you can also have it look good and keep that same price point of free. Okay, I'm going to step away for just 1 minute and I'll be right back, and I'm going to take any questions that you guys have. In case any of you guys were wondering, yes, that was a bathroom break. This live stream's going on. Ironically, I have this LifterLMS mug. They had given this to me. They mailed this to me in a shirt like 2 years ago or something like that. And so I have coffee in here that I've been drinking. I have a spoon in my coffee because I add... I forget what kind of oil it is. I add an oil to the coffee to boost my energy levels. The concept is called bulletproof coffee. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it. If you haven't heard it, Google it, bulletproof coffee. It adds kind of like a coconut oil to it. So anyways, let me just have a sip of this and let's get to your questions. Whiskey. Oh, let me click on this. Whiskey. I actually was considering having a drink, but I started this live stream at 2 p.m. my time. If it was later, I would have probably had a beverage. I've been really into old fashions. So you take a sugar cube and you put it in a glass, and then you take these, I forget the name of it, bitters. It's called bitters. And then you put a few drops of the bitters, and then you crush the sugar cube. And then you pour your whiskey in, and then you have a really large ice cube, such as I have these globe ice cubes. And then you put the globe ice cube in there, and then you're supposed to take an orange peel, and there's a couple things you do to it. I always skip that part. I'll probably be having one of those in about 3 hours or so, just to chill and relax. All right, so I'm going to scroll up, and let's see what we got going on here. Zach's asking, is there a WooCommerce specific demo for Cadence WP? I can't find it on their site. They have demos coming very soon. A couple blog ones, e-commerce one, and just a normal website one. They have that coming soon. I think they're going to have one of those plugins that you can add where you add it and then choose the demo that you want or the starting point that you want for your site. This comment is, so basically what you're saying is Cadence is better to use over Elementor and Astra if you're looking to change. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is not every website probably you need to use a page builder. And accounting for the fact that using a page builder adds complexity. And when you add complexity, things take longer, things are more heavy, and more effort goes into managing them. So the idea that I'm presenting is to contemplate whether what you want to create, you need the advanced design functionality that you would get using a page building tool. What I'm trying to say is I think we're at a point, or we're going to be there soon, months, not years, months, where most sites that don't need intense design, you probably are going to be better off just using WordPress and the block builder and a capable theme. The only reason I'm referencing this one is I like that I can customize the header to be what I want. And there's all these kind of layout options for blog posts, product pages, and looks like they're now getting into the learning management space as well. I hope that answers. Yes, thanks for confirming. So any bug that you might experience with Cadence WP, they're fixing these things, or special requests that make sense, they're adding these things. What I just showed you, all that LifterLMS stuff wasn't there and wasn't even in their plans, but one of the users that wanted to try it out reached out to them and said, this is exactly what you need to do, and spelled it out so the developer wouldn't have to go and figure it all out themselves. They literally spelled it out. It needs this, 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 and this. And so he said, sure. And he did it within days. And now I think you have a very compelling reason to, if you want to use LifterLMS, to use this theme that gets you way further along than other themes will. Michael has a WooCommerce question, and this is the time where you can ask other questions. Will WooCommerce let you do things like buy two, get one free? Yes, WooCommerce there's an aspect of WooCommerce that you really love at times and you really hate at times. You really love the fact that WooCommerce, you can pretty much accomplish and do anything. But what you hate is it doesn't do it out of the box. So then you have two options. Three options, actually. No, it's really two. Your two options are to custom code it, and for me, that's not an option. So I'm stuck with the one option, which is to find an add-on to be able to accomplish it. The good news is there's plenty of free add-ons, and there's also paid add-ons. What stinks though, sometimes with WooCommerce, is you find yourself in a situation where you need to buy lots of different add-ons in order to get it to do what you want. It works fine on its own, but a lot of times we want it to do something unique, something particular, and so those are our two options. And so the whole buy two, get one free, which is kind of like a bundle discount, you would need that. However, there are actually some options to accomplish that for free, which is with product variations. So you can create a variation of your product that is a quantity of 3, and you can put a specific price. So if your buyer's there and they choose that variation, buy two, get one free, then you could do that and not have to pay for an add-on or add anything. But if you want to dynamically do it, where as soon as someone adds a second quantity, it automatically adds a third for free, that's something custom. Let's see. Oh, this is good. How's your kid? Hanging inside the house? Mine are trying to break through the wall. So I have a 13-year-old who's in the 8th grade, and their school year was obviously cut short right 2 weeks before spring break, which is around Easter. And his school reacted really quick to start having school be on the internet. And I gotta say, him not being able to go to school and having to do school at home has actually accelerated his grades. I couldn't be more proud. He takes care of his business. He wakes up when he needs to. He does all his schoolwork. His grades have increased. And he has a nice routine and structure. But it's, it is a challenge sometimes when there's more people around because there's more distractions to get into. And I certainly feel that. But we recently moved. I should actually show you guys the office. I tried this in a live stream, but I think I have better stuff for that. We recently moved into a larger home, so he has more space to do what he wants to do. And where my office is in the house, I'm kind of like at the far corner. So, but it's been good. We're all coping. We're definitely all coping. Okay, so here's a comment that I need to update my website. On one page, I'm saying that I use Astra, and then on another page, I'm saying I don't recommend it. Mixed message. So my website is kind of an archive of the progression of things. So I have on my website probably 4,000 comments, and so I probably have responded to maybe 2,000 of those. So you figure I have 2,000 times where I've written something. So I'm not going to go back and in those comments say change them, because that is my response at that given point in time. Same thing goes for my videos here on YouTube and the comments that I've responded to here on YouTube. I've changed the things I use many times. For example, on my website, I started last November using the Buddy Bus theme, and I love it. It's a great theme. I recommend it to people that want to build kind of an online community website, something specific like that, because it just nails it. So I evolve. I evolve in every aspect of what I do here with the channel, but I like to think I evolve in a transparent manner. So, it's also a challenge when you have a website with lots of content is, something you say 2 years ago might not necessarily be relevant today. But the problem is, how am I going to go and find where I wrote that 2 years ago when there's so much content there? So it's kind of, I would say if you could take dates into consideration. I don't have any kind of different messaging intentionally. It's just the natural progress of having a website and being on the internet for many years, and especially in technology, which happens to evolve. The area I see the biggest challenge with that is when I do a product review. I do a product review and a year later the product's totally different, and it's evolved. Like, how do you keep up with that stuff? It's very challenging. So it's kind of easier said than done, but I'll try to do better for that. I hear you is what I'm trying to say. I hear you, but I'm also excusing it, but not like I'm doing it intentionally. Simon's asking, does Cadence theme have a search and filter option? I know on the shop page there is a filter option. So this is another one of those. I'm on the spot. I'm just doing it. Let's go here and see if I go on shop. So right here I have sorting, but I don't think it has search and filters just yet. But if it doesn't, I'm sure that is on the radar to be added very soon. So I'm going to go here, product catalog page, and let's just see. So we have those same layout options that I've been showing you on everything else. We have display products, category, default sorting options. So it doesn't look like there's filtering options here unless they are present in widgets, and usually they're implemented with widgets. So let's go here. Let's put a layout right here. So there's a sidebar option. So let's see what sidebar options we have. So I'm going to go back here to widgets, sidebar 1. What default WooCommerce? Okay, so filter by attribute. So let's get rid of this recent posts. Let's remove that. Let's get rid of recent comments. Okay, so that doesn't look all that great. Let's see, what does filter by price end up looking like? So we have, so we have a price filter here, and price filter by ratings. I don't know why that's not showing anything, maybe because I don't have anything with a rating. So these are leveraging some of the default WooCommerce options here. Oh, by attribute. Let's see, by color. Okay, so I guess when you're using the filter by attribute, you can, there's some additional options here. So here's like a drop down. Here's some query options. So I'm wondering if that's an area that might need refinement and improvement. We'll have to see. But I would add that the developer is hyper-focused on WooCommerce. So anything that it might lack right now, I wouldn't think it would be missing for that much time longer. If anything I said just makes sense. Actually, okay, so I lost my space, my spot here. Okay. I'm scrolling through some of the contacts, some of the comments. This is good. Definitely excited about Cadence theme. I am as well. Yes, Marco, I did use the restroom. You know, in the beginning of the live stream, how I had the little music playing and all that? I'm going to make one of those for like a 90-second intermission. I should definitely do that. Then I could have pushed a button. I could have given you guys some tunes. I could have done my thing and then come back. Let's see. Ali's asking, Cadence, is it a builder or a theme? It's a theme, but it has when it's paired with the power of Gutenberg, which is kind of becoming a content builder, and the theme, it already has a header builder, it's going to meet a lot of people's needs and get them where they want to go a lot quicker. All right. Wash up. Yes, Cadence is a theme. Yes, thanks for having my back, Chris. Live streaming can be brutal when you're sitting here and you saw I was drinking the water and I can't pause it. It's funny, I was sitting there like, I'm just going to have to tell everybody I got to go. I got to go. Can I talk about Search and Filter Pro? I can't because I don't have it, but I need to use it and make some tutorials on it for sure. Oh, I think I went back in time here. MMK Ventures, Adam, please comment on buying the Cadence lifetime deal of all plugins and the theme for $3.99 right now. I'm thinking about it and wasn't sure if wasn't it $3.49 until recently. So his bundle right now will include the future pro version of Cadence theme and also future offerings. So his bundle is actually, I think, is a really good price right now. I will tell you when the pro version of Cadence WP comes out, he'll probably be increasing the price of that. But he would do it with warning and notice. So I do think that it might have been $3.49 in the past last year. And maybe they raise the price as they add value to the bundle. So I do think it's a good deal. I mean, I could talk to him and see if there's any way he can maybe do some kind of a deal for the group. I haven't considered that or anything like that. Yes, this whole stream is to promote the coffee. And LifterLMS. Okay. Yeah, now the whiskey for sure. Let's see. Gabriel's asking, hey Adam, how can I have my blog posts to domain blog post instead of domain/post, as I tried everything in the last couple of days? Okay, so this is actually quite easy. You would go to, let me show you actually. So I'm going to do this off the top of my head. So what you're asking about is something called permalink. So here I am, and I'm going to click on blog. And if we're looking at the permalink, you're saying you want it to be the domain name /blog/ the post name. That's called the permalink. So we need to get the word blog in there. Now, this is something very dangerous to do if you have an existing website, because you're changing the links. And if Google has found these pages and you change where these pages are, Google's not going to really like that much. There's ways of overcoming that, but I would suggest not doing that. But if it's a new site and that's how you want your permalink structure, it's quite easy. You go down to the back end of WordPress, you go to settings, and then you go here to where it says permalinks, and it's going to pull up our permalink options. Now, you probably have it set to post name, and then you have this right here. So what you want to do is edit this bit of text. You want to go /blog, and we already have the slash there. And now we have custom structure selected. I'll scroll down, I'll click on saved products. Not save products, save changes. All right, so now I'm going to go back to the front end of my website. I'll click on blog, and I'm going to click on a post. And now you can see the post URL has completely changed. It's now domain name /blog/ post name. So you can see it's actually very simple to do that. It's just a setting change in your permalink settings, but you have to be careful. You don't want to do that to an existing website. I think I actually did a good job answering that in real time off the top of my head. Ali's saying that, oh, this is funny. They probably increased the price when they knew Adam was going to promote them. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. And that the Astra Lifetime seems cheaper. The one they got on sale last week at $175. So it's like an apples to oranges comparison. So you're saying $175 is a theme only for Astra, and I think that was with their recent sale. Where on Cadence, it's everything they have. It's a theme. It's multiple plugins. It's the pro version of their block builder. So it's not quite an apple to apple comparison. So a closer comparison would be Astra's bundle that's $699. So that would be a more fair comparison than just saying the theme only. All right. Oh, Raul already answered it, the permalink settings. Okay, so I'm getting to the bottom of this. Let's see. Hugo saying, okay. Hugo saying, is there any advantage to using Cadence when you don't use WooCommerce? Absolutely. It's header and footer builder, and the styling options you get for pages and posts, it's outstanding. It's absolutely outstanding. Now, obviously, there's special things there for WooCommerce and for LifterLMS, and I'm sure LearnDash is coming in the future, and maybe some things for events, and maybe some things for photographers. But even if you're just using it for a blog, just the header builder alone is outstanding. Ali, I'll work on it. I'll see what I can ask them to do, but it's entirely up to them. Morton, I turned off the mic. He's saying toilet time, turn off the mic. I did turn off the mic. Oh, there he is. Actually, sorry. There we go. Let's see. Yes, Chris is saying things change constantly. Themes and page builders evolve. The best today is not necessarily the best in a month from now. It's all about flexibility. Yes, and I don't advocate jumping from one thing to another thing to another thing. I don't jump from one thing to another thing like on a monthly or biannual or yearly basis. I usually stick with something for 1 to 2 years, and then I make a change based upon what's currently out there. And I do this with my websites too. I will redo them every 1 to 2 years. It's probably a good idea to do it every 2 to 3 years. So if you are making websites for clients, you find yourself wanting to see what's the best tool that's going to get you from A to B. And like every industry and everything, there's always that new thing that's going to do things a bit better. Oops, how do I have this comment on here? Let me get rid of that. There we go. Actually, this was a good one right here. Well said, Adam. I don't want the complexity. And that's kind of where I'm at personally, on a personal level. I don't want the complexity. I want things that are simple to use, that take up time. And a page builder, these things are becoming such advanced design tools. And that's good. In the right hands, that's good. But not everybody is the right hands. Let's see. This is an interesting question from Nick. Hi, Adam. Any advice on how to present visual customizations in WooCommerce, such as placing text on a product and allowing the customer to see it visually, like Moonpig? I actually have never heard of Moonpig. I think I have an idea of what you're saying. So that would be to say you're selling a shirt, to lay out some text or design on that shirt and kind of have it embedded in. I believe there is an add-on for WooCommerce to accomplish that. I just don't have the name off the top of my head. Oh, my man, Eric, where's your beverage? I've got mine. Eric, I'm sporting, sadly, coffee, and I'm sporting water, but I'm going to move on to the old-fashioned here shortly. Oh, we got James. Hey, James, you are working with LearnDash, right? Great to have you on, and I know you've been putting out presentations and stuff like that, helping LearnDash users. I'm a big LearnDash fan. I love that tool. This is funny from Peter. Look buff, looking buff, Adam. Been working out? No, I haven't. I've been doing the opposite. Although in our new house, we have a room that is kind of like for fitness. I have been spending a little time this week, but I think I've probably gained maybe like 7 pounds since this whole stay-at-home order has been going on. I need to do a bit more. We have a treadmill up there, some free weights, and kind of an adjustable bench. So I do need to get to having a little bit more physical activity in my life. It's hard, man, with this stay-at-home thing. All right. Okay, I'm scrolling down. I'm probably going to wrap this up. Oh, you know what I wanted to try? I wanted to try showing you guys my office, because I tried it a while ago and I didn't like how it came out. So let's see. It was like a little glitchy. So is there anything I don't want anyone to see? Okay, so now let me see if I can switch. Okay, I can switch. Okay, but it's still a little jittery. You see that? It's still a little jittery. So this is what I was saying, where I have my camera right there, and then I have my iPad acting as a second monitor, and I can go right here and I can show comments on the screen. So I don't know if it'll show over this. Oh, it is showing over this. So I can just click. I'm using a product called Ecamm. And it's a fantastic product. They actually just made a bunch of fixes for me with it. You can see my office right here. Well, that's just a water bottle. I got a chair right there. It's still a little jittery. These right here are acoustic panels to help eliminate the echo. I have a little secret liquor stash right there. My wife just bought this rug for me. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm not sure if it feels girly, looks girly, but anyways, that's that. And then I'll show you the office, kind of my setup right there. So this is kind of the setup on a daily basis. I work here. Right there is some roller shutters. I can roll up and see the outside. And I've got this really sweet bookshelf here. It's so funny, like I feel too privileged. These mics, this is a Yeti. These things are like $100. It was the first one I used. And this was the old mic I used to use. But the reason I feel so privileged, it's like a $400 mic. And yet I don't use it at all. Anyway, so that was me testing this. Sorry, I wanted to just test that and show you guys the office for a quick second. Yes, and this is my new office. It's been awesome. I should show you those roller blinds. I can push a button and they go up or go down. It makes life easy. Okay, so let's see what else we got here. And I think I'm going to wrap this up. Stringer Bell is saying, and I'm glad to take questions like this, why Cartflow's development progress is so slow in the past year. Well, I guess define slow. If you go on the website, in the top right, it shows a list of all the updates, and we've had an update out we've had 1 or 2 feature updates come out every month. So features are constantly being added. I can tell you right now what's being worked on. It is right about to come out is to have a product selection grid where you can say incentivize someone to buy a larger quantity and get a discount. And you can also kind of have it lift off the page and say best value. You know, it's geared towards getting people to buy more stuff. We have that's about to come out. I was testing it and I showed some screenshots in the Cartflow's Facebook group about a week ago. So we have that on its way. In the last month, we've released like 3 different template packs. We have one-click upsells for Mali on its way. We're just waiting on something from Mali, and that will bring that to all of Europe. We're also working on Square one-click upsells. That's good for CBD businesses because you can't use Stripe for CDB type of products. So I think we're adding stuff and we're working on native Elementor modules. But if you look at the product grid, we've been releasing updates and features consistently. I mean, we've added feature after feature after feature. What I think you might give that impression, though, is not maybe doing the best job of letting everybody know of these features, right? So we'll have a product update and you just see an update, but you don't know what was added or updated or enhanced. So I think that might be it. But if there is something specific that you feel we should have added and we haven't added, you can message me directly. But I do feel like we are consistently releasing features for it. So I'm happy about that. So I don't know, it gives you that perspective if it's more of a communication issue on our end, not communicating the new features as we add them. As a matter of fact, just last week, we added the ability to have variations on variable products on your upsells. Another thing we've been working on is having someone be able to take an upsell and have it cancel the main order. That's a very complicated thing to implement because it involves refunds. But we've been working hard on it and we're going to continue working hard on it. Thank you. I appreciate comments like this. I enjoy these times, as a matter of fact. I enjoyed spending this time with everybody. Okay, I think I'm going to have to wrap this up. We're coming on 2 hours, which is what I figured. Let's see. This is a great question. I think I'll scroll through some more, but this is a good question. Maybe I'll take 2 or 3 after this. And Joe is asking, how do you see the use of page builders in the next few years and buying them lifetime, especially regarding Gutenberg development, becoming unsure of the way to go? If you were to ask me this question 6 months ago, I would have said, I do not see a future where Gutenberg gives us what we need to have a pleasurable experience building out websites. I would have said that. Fast forward to today, with the enhancements there, I showed some of them in this live stream, the enhancements that they're continually making to the block builder, the block pattern feature. I see a future where most websites, all they need is going to be in the block builder, and it's going to be very simple. It's going to be a better path forward. It's going to be more simple. It's going to give you everything that you need. But there's always going to be a segment of users that or if you make websites for customers, there's going to be a segment of those people that have more demands, and they're going to demand more design going into it, more overlapping elements and animations and all kinds of things like that. So there's always going to be a spot for these page building tools. But I think for me, if I was building an e-commerce website, I probably would just use the block builder, right? And let WooCommerce take care of everything else. That's what I would do. For a blog, certainly I wouldn't use a page builder at all for that. And what I'm starting to see is Gutenberg's getting easier to use and more practical to use. So I wouldn't probably buy a page building tool on a lifetime deal if it was available to me today. I will say, and this might be the big but in everything I said, there's a but I'm probably going to still use Elementor Pro. It adds things not from a design side, but from a functionality side that I still want. But I know that with that, I'm accepting that there's going to be a lot more moving parts and complexity, and I'm willing to accept that. But most people don't need those extra complexities. They don't need the extra weight on the website. They just need to get their website up and going. And I think that for a large amount of websites, Gutenberg eventually, and I'm thinking this year, maybe early next year, like for sure, but this year might be all that you need. And I think for me, I'm going to start testing building sites just using Gutenberg. And that's something I wouldn't have said 6 months ago. Let's see here. Peter is saying, with all your knowledge, do you still build websites? I build my own. I should get away from it because I'm far too busy. I do build websites because I want to stay on the cusp of everything so that I can help other people do it. Yeah. Nathan, I will work on it, asking if I can get some kind of a discount. I honestly hadn't thought of it, but I'll go ahead and reach out to the developer there and see if he wants to do anything. I'm not like an affiliate or anything of theirs. I'm not like, there's no like profit or money. I don't take money to make videos. I don't take money to promote products. I am an affiliate partner or a referral partner whenever there's an opportunity and it fits with what I'm already doing. On the Cadence side, just a free theme. I haven't signed up there's no like affiliate link or anything like that. The only reason I say go to WPCrafter.com/cadence is because I have the short link take you to where you can directly download the theme instantly without giving an email. Although I think he's since added an option to download without giving an email. So I'll reach out to him though. I certainly will. Let's see. This is great. Creating websites is asking, if you want to sell websites, is there a platform that you would recommend? So one thing I want to get into for this channel and make some tutorials on, I've been wanting to for a while, is WordPress multi-site. Hard to explain right now, but it's actually not a cheap path forward. It's going to cost people money because the tools you need to pull it off, to create a website as a service type of thing. It's very intriguing, but it does require a bit of an investment. You're probably looking at a minimum of $500, maybe $1,500 in the tools you'll need. But you're going to be in a really great position and a control position to sell websites as a service. It's going to be easy to manage them as well. There's a big community around it. Okay, Jen is saying, I'm losing the social button in Cadence. They are not in the available box, neither in the header section. Any idea? I know for me, I use an ad blocking tool that happens to block social buttons. And so the social buttons work fine for me, but if I have that tool enabled, it hides the social buttons. So I'm not saying that's what's going on for you. If there is a genuine bug, definitely report it to them and they'll take care of it. I know for me, it's so funny. I have this ad blocker on my iPhone as well. And I was going to my own website and I'm like, oh, my website looks broken all the time. What's going on? And I just spent like all this time troubleshooting and I couldn't get anywhere. And it turns out it was the ad blocker breaking my website. So anyways. Flip Back My Man is saying, hey Adam, what is going on with CartFlow's templates? The two-step checkout form has a CSS issue where text overlaps on the pull-down list, and at least that is how it shows on the CartFlow's. Oh, you're probably referring to the website where we're showing those. You know, we gotta fix how we do that. We show it in an iframe, so it's not usually the exact representation of what it looks like because we display them in an iframe. So I know it sucks. We need to come up with a better way of showing it. I was thinking of maybe putting in the effort to build out some funnels on a separate domain that people can actually go through. But thanks for letting us know. We'll see what's going on. That might be related to the iframe that we have going on. Okay, Minnie is asking, what theme and page builder are you using on your site? I use the Buddy Boss theme because I want a community website. So if you want to build a community website, it's an amazing theme for that. I also have a discount 10% off if you go to WPCrafter.com/BuddyBoss, I think one word, or maybe there's a hyphen in between Buddy and Boss. I always forget. It'll auto apply 10% off for you. Buddy Boss, I don't recommend it it's not a theme that everybody should just use. It's specifically for building out a community website. I use that, and I use Elementor Pro on my website. Simon is asking any recommendations for search and filter. I think some of those should be features that should be added if it's in the context of WooCommerce. So I'll ask him about that. I know there's a plugin called Search and Filter. But I think those are features that should standard be in a theme that's for WooCommerce. I'll mention that to them. This is an interesting question. Which theme do you suggest for rank math? Well, rank math will work with any theme, as a matter of fact. So it would be more, what is the website for? Would be more what would guide the answer to that question. Rank math is a special plugin. I was testing it for a long time before I made a video on it, but I'm gung-ho about it now. I added it to my website and it eliminated the need. I got to remove like 4 different plugins just by adding rank math. All right. Yeah, a lot of requests about working out some deal on the Cadence theme or some kind of a discount. I'll reach out to him and ask him. Sorry, Bobby, I mentioned in the beginning that I would not be able to read every comment, and I was reading ones specific to the subject matter that as I was going through it, and so that might have been it. But if you ask your question again, I'm scrolling down and trying to hit as many as I can. But I did say in the beginning, I'm going to be talking about subject matter, and then I'm going to take some questions in between that are only related to that subject matter. I tried to mention that in the beginning. Hey, Virgil, friendly face. What am I using for live streaming on this channel? I'm using Ecamm. Ecamm is an amazing software. Actually, let me break it on down. If anyone wants to get into live streaming, you can just go use the free OBS. Okay, so the only thing that Ecamm gives me that OBS doesn't give me is the ability to take these questions and show them on the screen, number one. And number two, it makes it easy for me to pull in a guest via Skype and show that on the screen. And there's a bunch of other goodies, but honestly, if I could get the comments on the screen out of the free OBS, I would probably just use that and live without all the other goodies. I just like these comments on the screen. I think it helps pull everything in. In OBS, you can show the entire comment feed, which is a little dangerous to embed into your live stream. But that's why I like Ecamm, and the guys that make Ecamm, they're very responsive when you have a problem or you need something specific. They've done so much this last month to help me out. I use Ecamm. I think it's great. I should make a video on it at some point. Let's see. Hey Adam, for products, does Kadence have customization forms and writing field picture upload? I think I know what you're asking. I think that, no, they don't. I think that's functionality that's better not in a theme. No theme has anything like that. It's probably functionality that's better implemented and added with a plugin. Design Discounters, cool name actually. I think I bought, no, Liquidators. I bought our mattresses from Mattress Liquidators, not Mattress Discounters. Design Discounters is asking, if we use the Kadence theme with Gutenberg, are there third-party page templates available for commercial use for our clients? So Gutenberg doesn't have that many third-party templates, or really any at all, on the market yet. And that's because I think the block builder is changing so much. So I would think in the future, Kadence, they're going to start releasing demos this month. I've already seen a few of them. They look great. I'm sure that there will be demos that are included. There'll be free ones. And when they have a pro version in the future, they'll probably have some pro ones there as well. Have a look out for that. I think what I prefer over full page templates is section templates. Those are already in Kadence blocks. The free plugin you can use with the theme to add, it actually does some really cool stuff I should have shown in this video. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that. But the pre-designed blocks, I think that is what I'd like to see more of, so you can assemble your own page layouts, and it will inherit the themes and the fonts and colors that you set in the theme customizer. That's what I think is what I'd like to see. And I appreciate you saying this. Wait, am I showing the wrong thing here? There we go. I appreciate this comment. You like the idea of Kadence and Gutenberg over a Astra, Elementor, or a page builder based website build. It's a changing landscape, and it is what it is. And you know, when I first started making videos, I was making videos on Thrive Architect, which was called Thrive Content Builder, and then I leveled up to Beaver Builder, and then early on with Elementor, I was really intrigued with that and started using it. Technology changes, and the way we do things constantly evolves and changes. Jason's asking if I know a video call service that you can include on a website. Maybe like Zoom, but I don't think you can embed Zoom. I don't actually know of any. You could use Ecamm. If you had it, you could pull in someone from Skype, and then you can live stream it to YouTube and then embed that into your website. That's what I would do. I don't know of a better way to do it. Hunky Vampire, LOL. Hi guys, what's a good hosting company? I'm using HostGator. Some of you guys might have answered it down below. I've been recommending SiteGround. Now, what a lot of you guys might not realize is SiteGround recently migrated their entire infrastructure over to Google Cloud's infrastructure. So where most shared hosting, it's literally a server in a data center, and you know, it's has websites on it, and it has its limited resources, but it can't, the resources can't expand beyond what's in that physical box. Now you have SiteGround has moved everything to Google Cloud, so you get to have the advantage of being on their infrastructure and the scalability and all that kind of stuff. It's an interesting move they made, and that's just one of the reasons why I feel most comfortable suggesting SiteGround at that level. And then when you want to step up, Cloudways. So all right, scrolling. Okay, Nick, you're clarifying the moon pig. It's in reference to personalized cards, personalization. Yeah, I think there is something for that on the WordPress side for WooCommerce. I just don't know the name off the top of my head, but I have come across personalization like that for product images. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate it. I just blessed to be able to make these videos and have people care about them and have it help people. Oh, thank you, Hugo. You're saying the rug is perfect. I appreciate it. When I saw it, I gave my wife a hard time all yesterday. She literally came yesterday from Amazon and she rolled it out. And I came in here and I was like, it looks girly. You know, my son is like, it's cool. But it's definitely growing on me. And I have to have a rug in this room because of the echo. It's going to help with the echo, but it's just a cold tile there. So it adds a bit to oomph to the room. Minnie's asking about the lights. These are Elgato lights. I forget the exact name. If you go to Elgato's, I think they just might be called Elgato lights. They have two kinds. One that has a base that sits on your desk and one that can clamp on your desk. So I have the clamp ones and I have two of them. They're actually more expensive lights, but they're still affordable. These I paid $199 each, but I think I've seen them on sale for $169. And the ones that sit on the desk that don't clamp, but they have a base, I think those are a little less expensive. And this is just the lighting back here. This is just a Philips Hue. So you can see it right here. It's a Philips Hue light. And yes, that is a bottle of champagne, but it's closed. I'll have to tell you the story of that sometime. Oh, it's Haiti. Thank you for your feedback on the rug, and it's nice to see you. Virgil, yes, no plants. You know what? I'll switch back to the camera and I can show you the view when I have the windows open. A lot of light will come in, so I'll get blown out. But there's a nice little view. It's all green and stuff like that. So my plants are outside. It is kind of stale looking in here for sure, but it's clean, tidy, minimalistic. That's what I wanted. Chris, the rug is manly with the roller blinds. You haven't seen the roller blinds. I'm going to turn the roller blinds at the end of this video and you'll see how cool those are. They're so convenient and inexpensive. Let's see here. Yep, no plants in the office. Oh, Haiti, you totally missed out. You're saying you've heard Ecamm is wonderful. It is. It would have been nice if they had a lifetime price. They did 2 years ago. They switched to annual pricing, I think 12 months ago, maybe January of last year. But before that, it was dirt cheap. I bought a license for, gosh, this is going to make people cringe. It was only like $70. And that's it for a lifetime price. So of course I'm going to use it, but I would probably consider buying, it's like what, $200 a year now or something like that. They've just added, devoted so much to it. And they're actually going to be taking it even a lot further in the future here. They're going to add their own multi-streaming. They're going to add their own video call-in functionality. Okay, I'm going to have to wrap this up. Oh, this is cool. What's that YouTube thing? This is my play button. You get this. Hey, why'd that candle get there? I should like that. You get this. Actually, I don't know how that got there. I had that out of the way. You get this when your YouTube channel gets over 100,000 subscribers. And this channel's got, what, 162,000? I have like a little thing here that tells me. Is that a spider? They get spiders in this house. Okay. Okay. Yes, Elementor will never do lifetime. I use Elementor and I like it a lot. Yes, page building tools, there is a definite move away from them for sure. Okay, I'm scrolling through. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap it up. I just want that one person that wasn't happy I didn't answer their comment. Let's see. Oh, wait. Flip is saying, thanks. I also revisited the LearnDash video made. Super long, but I love it. Yeah, LearnDash is good. Out of the box, that thing looks beautiful. Okay. I'm going to butcher your name. Kuya. Adam, I just joined and immediately I got curious. What software do you use to bring the viewers messages? Ecamm. It is awesome and so easy to use. Unfortunately, it's Mac only on the PC side. You'd have to use, vMix, which I used to use, but it's expensive and complicated. Thank you, Frank. You're right. You're right. I'm still working out a good format for this. Do you believe Ultimate Gutenberg will get as good as Quibbly once Brainstorm Force releases Ultimate Gutenberg Pro? I don't think so. I think Ultimate Gutenberg was just kind of a let's throw something out there to get visibility in the plugin directory, but not really a serious product. But then if the opportunity presents itself, maybe do something serious with it. That's why you haven't seen them do much with it. Okay, I'm scrolling fast. If I skip someone, it's not personal. Okay. I'm almost there. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the blinds. Okay. All right, so I'm not going to answer any more questions, but if you... Oh, actually here, let me see this. Last question. Adam, can you help me find the offer page you made for us using your affiliate link for the membership plugin you recommend? Reach out to me directly, and if you wouldn't mind, or on my contact form, or send an email to support@WPCrafter.com. That goes to a ticket desk, and I go through those tickets daily. Oh, I got to answer this from James, and then I'm going to show the automatic blinds because it's that cool. James, what is your current favorite premium Gutenberg block add-on? Hands down, it's just Gutenberg by itself. No, it's cadence blocks. Let me show you. I'm going to take 30 seconds to show you some of the cool stuff of why this is. So here I am. Check this out. I'm going to go to a page. So I have cadence blocks installed. Let me get out of the frame. I'm going to go back to that home page. And this is what I like about cadence blocks. It's trying to replicate Page Builder, what we expect from a page builder, but inside of Gutenberg. So if I click on the K right here, it pulls up some of the options. It's going to have deep integration with its theme for the color palette. I think it's actually pulling in colors from the color palette. But this is what I like, block defaults. You can set default settings for the blocks, but what I really like is the row right here. So I can click on this and I can set defaults of margin and padding for using their row element. So for example, you want to create a row, add a row to your page, and you like to have, say, 70 pixels of spacing at the top and the bottom. So right here, you could set it for device type, by the way. So I could set it to say 70 top and then 70 bottom, and that's what I want my default padding to be when I use its row element. And then I can do it all for the different device type. Let me scroll down and click on save. So now if I want to add a row down here, let me go right here. I'll type, here it is. I'll click on it and let me just choose one from their pre-built library. let's just choose this. It added that padding for me above and beyond. I think it says 85 because maybe this is adding some of it, or maybe this is pre-designed and that was automatically adding it. So basically you're getting a lot of these time-saving options available to you using it to bring some of what you would want from a page builder into it, but you also get the benefit of pre-designed sections, and I expect that to grow, their pre-designed section library. Okay, I'm going to show you lastly my blinds, and then I'm going to fade to black. So I'm going here, and I'm going to switch. You're probably not going to be able to actually hear. Let me get the remote. So, who said roller blinds are girly? So I've got this remote here, and it's actually a waste of money, right? I think making them motorized cost me like $500. But I have to open and close them. If I want to make a video, I need to close them. And I'm not always making videos, so rolling them up and down is a pain. So I got this, so I can click up, and then they just roll up for me. Oh, see, I told you the light was going to get blown out. This is why I don't have any plants, because this is what I'm looking at. It's a disaster. My home is a fixer-upper. We just got it. It's kind of like a fixer-upper. So in the summer, I'm going to have the whole outside redone. But that's my view. I get to sit there and enjoy this view every single day. It's a blessing for me. But that's why I don't have plants in here, because I have plants out there. Actually, you know what? The light didn't mess this up that much. I should have had it like this so I could enjoy the outside. It actually probably looks better. Maybe I should have done that in the beginning. But roller blinds, that's why I got roller blinds, so I can just push a button and have it go up and down. Anyways, this has been a great time, a great live stream. I've enjoyed this time. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to edit this down. You might see some of this stuff be posted later this week. I appreciate all you guys. Let me give my last apology if I didn't get to your question. I'm really sorry, and I wish you would just copy and paste it into the WP Crafter Facebook group. And there's a link in the video description box for that. And the only thing I also didn't say, you have the ability to do super chat, and that's like give money or something. No requirement of that, but I think if anyone did super chat, this Ecamm doesn't let me know it. So usually the polite thing to do is someone gives a super chat, you highlight what they're asking and give them extra time. So if there was a super chat and I didn't do that, I'm sorry. It's just my app doesn't let me know if someone super chatted. So no offense by it. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining me today. Have a great weekend with your friends and family. And I'll see you in the next one.